All right, so we're back for today's show. It is February 3rd, 2021. And today we're going to be talking about the Brooklyn Nets overcoming the Los Angeles Clippers because, man, that was like the game of the week. It went down to the wire, went down to the last two free throws. And like I told a friend of mine who did not see the game, if I'm the Clippers, I leave that game with my head held high, feeling like, look, it took a monumental effort from Kyrie. Durant got his average. We held James Harden below his average in their building. We're down a starter. We lost by 4 points due to free throws. We had great open looks. We just missed them. Leonard was able to get where he wanted to go. Paul George was able to get where he wanted to go pretty much. Batum had some really big shots. They played well. They played well. So if I'm the Clippers, I puff up a little bit. Like, yeah, we came to your gym and yeah, you guys did what you're supposed to do. You handled business. But when you come out here to LA, it's going to be a different story. Now, if I'm the Brooklyn Nets, I'm thinking, we finally held an opponent under, 130. Number one, they held them to 120 points. That's good for them. Two, we finally won a big game against a team with all three of our stars playing, and they all pretty much played well for the most part. Nobody, ball hogged or didn't do what they were supposed to do. They played okay defense. There's still some holes in the sink, but the ship is looking in the right direction after that game if I'm the Nets. And, more importantly, you got 90 points out of Durant, Kyrie, and Harden. Which leads me to my first question is 90 points too many points for a big three to win a title? And you got to really think about that. If you got 90 points out of three guys and they're going to take 20 shots each on the average and your team is going to get 82 to 85 shots, that means you need your team to shoot 50% in order for you to score 110 points. If they get 22 shots, they got to hit 11, and 11 of those shots are 22 to, let's say 30 points. And if you're going to get 90 out of your big three, you want to cross that 115, 117 point threshold to win a game. 125 if you're Brooklyn. That means your others, your bench players, have got to shoot 50%, and those have got to be high percentage shots. So when you look at the way the Brooklyn offense runs, are they putting guys in position to get layups, dunks, drives, cuts to the basket, etc., or are they shooting a lot of threes? Well, Landry Shamet, Joe Harris shoot a lot of threes. This is something that Brooklyn is definitely going to have to look at in the future and address it. Do they need another piece to win a title? In my opinion, that answer is hell yeah. They got to get a center, somebody that can block some shots, somebody that can again, either start over DJ or back DJ up. You do not want Durant being your biggest, tallest player. And number two is, I actually like Shumpert coming in to provide some defense and some wing defense in particular, because right now Kyrie is just not guarding anybody. James Harden can body up with certain players, but, with Shump on the floor, if he can shoot the spot up three, you can put him out there with a Jeff Green, a Durant, a Harden, and whoever else you want to throw in at that fourth spot, whether it be a center or Joe Harris. And now you got a real dangerous lineup while Kyrie is resting, and you're not lacking on the defensive end. So I kind of like that idea. But the question I'm going to pose to you is, do the Brooklyn Nets need another piece to win a title, or can they win it as is? Now, moving on, this is my kind of question today for the player. What if Kyrie were 6'6"? How would we talk about him then? 6'6". I think he's in his 7th or 8th year. One title, unguardable. I mean, there's only been one other guy that I talk about in this breath, and that's Allen Iverson. And I've said this for years. We watched the next Jordan come and go when AI came and went, but he was 5'11". What if AI were 6'6"? It would have been freaking crazy. Okay, well, here we are again. What if Kyrie Irving were 6'6"? He doesn't dunk on people, but he can dunk. But if he was 6'6", he could get to the basket and finish a lot easier than he can now. And when I say this is like a quasi world. You don't lose anything. So he doesn't lose any handle. He doesn't lose any smoothness. None of that. He would be virtually unguardable, because then he could shoot over ones, twos, and threes. And you'd have to have a really long player guard him now. Like right now, if you got a long guy that can move his feet, you can really bother him. But if he was 6'6", it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter what you did. It really doesn't matter now, but it really wouldn't matter. Like if he was Kobe size, he would be a major fucking problem. I'm just saying. I want you guys to think about that. What if Kyrie Irving were 6'6" tall? Do you think he would be that guy that we'd be talking about now, or is he just a really skilled point guard? He's really a two guard, but is he just a really skilled player in your eyes? Moving on though. We talked about the big three and how they got 90 points. Let's go to the other team. Their big two had 59. And it used to be if you got two guys who get you 30 points a night, you're pretty much going to win a title. Do you guys think that the Clippers can win a title with two guys scoring 39 or 59 to 65 points a game, and then the rest of the team has volume shots? Or do you think they need another piece? Now, in my opinion, I think the Clippers are playing great, and they may need another piece. But then again, I could see them winning it just due to defensive strategy and cohesiveness. Everyone's got a chance to shine. Everyone's got a chance to eat. At the end of the game, you know who's getting the ball. You know Paul George is going to help carry the load during the game. Kawhi Leonard's going to close it. Batum's going to hit some big shots. Morris is going to hit some big shots. You're going to get a couple big shots out of Patrick Beverley when he comes back. Sweet Pepper Lemon Pepper Lou, whatever they call him. I call him Sweet Lou, but Sweet Lou's going to hit some shots. If he gets on the floor. Kennard's going to get some shots if he gets on the floor. So to me, the Clippers are a cohesive unit. But if you throw one more piece in there, like a Lonzo Ball for defensive purposes, or if you throw another center in there just for defensive purposes, will that help them? Yes. Will it hurt them? I don't think so. So if I had to pick one, I'd say they don't need another piece, but they could use another piece to win it. Brooklyn, on the other hand, I think they absolutely need one more piece besides Iman Shumpert. So moving on from there, though, my rookie of the year, I've been saying this since day one. I said it when he got drafted, Lamelo Ball. Let me just get my notes to make sure I don't miss a thing about this young man, because I've been saying this since day one. This guy should start. And if you look at the last 10 games, his arc went like this, and he kind of slumped a little bit, and then went starting to climb back up. But it's just not about, your play on the floor, right? And let me just say, for all you basketball purists, I'm a basketball purist too, I don't like how this guy is 10, 15, 20 games in, and he's already talking about, I'm going to somewhere else after my rookie contract. It's like, bro, you haven't even finished a college season here, and you're already talking about going somewhere else because you're not starting. And it's just like, earn some minutes. You shouldn't come in and start over Graham. Graham was here last year. Graham played well last year. Graham should have got the starting role. That being said, when we watch these games, it's like LaMelo sells jerseys, number one. LaMelo brings excitement to the team, number two. LaMelo is a stat stuffer. He's getting points from all over the floor, threes, mid-range, layups. When he gets the ball and he runs, guys look up and they run. So now we got ball movement involved. LaMelo Ball gets you rebounds. He gets you assists. He gets you steals. He plays shitty defense. And he turns the ball over too many times. And he's a bigger guard. To me, it's like he has more potential to be a team leader, to be a Jason Kidd potential turnaround change agent than what Graham does. And to me, Graham can have 25 and 2 assists, but it's just like I'd rather get 15, 16, and 10 assists on Melo with 8 rebounds, and the flow of the offense was moving and guys were running, catching lobs, and excited to play. And oh, by the way, we got a chance to win. I'd rather have that than have your 25 and 3. And I put you in my second unit and let you go crazy with the second unit. To me, that's just a no-brainer. I don't know what they were waiting on to get that thing going, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. Should LaMelo Ball be starting, especially after he started his first game against Miami and they won? But the night before that, he had 27 points, and the guy was hitting shots from everywhere. So, when I look at the box score, and I'm like, who is P.J. Washington? To me, he wasn't doing anything, but, he had a couple games when I started really paying attention to him where he was scoring 16, 18 points tonight. But before, it was just like, who is this P.J. Washington dude? 6 points, 8 points. Why is he starting? But now that he's injured, to me, LaMelo Ball should definitely start, and he should not lose that starting spot. Whether you put Washington back in for Graham or Rozier or whoever else when he comes back, whoever comes back first, cool. If it were me, I would start Ball I would trade Rozier to a contender. I'd keep Graham as a backup, but I'd trade Rozier to a contender just so he can, you've done your part for us. We appreciate it. We're going to let you go to a contender. We're going to get some picks for you and maybe a piece and a pick for you. And we're going to build with what we got. I'm going to let I'm going to let Malik Monk play a little bit more because the guy showed flashes the other night, 36 points. He shouldn't be playing 3 to 4 minutes a night. I know he's had problems off the court, but it's just like get him on the court so maybe he can get through his problems. And yeah, we're going to roll with what we got. We got a good young core. You got Gordon Hayward playing like crazy. I love Miles Bridges. The dude can ball. And him and Lamelo got this thing going on where it's just like they know where to be. You got to get them two on the floor together and start building on that. But, that's just my opinion on Lamelo Ball starting and definitely Rookie of the Year. If you get a chance to check out a Charlotte Hornets game, I would definitely check that out. I do think LaMelo needs to put his dad in check, talking about he's not happy and he's a superstar, etc. LaMelo just needs to go out and ball and stop turning the ball over, and the rest will take care of itself. I give it a year, and that'll be his team, his keys, and he should stay right there. Stay far away from LA. Stay in Charlotte where you at, right there. But moving on to the player to watch. And this is a segment that I just created because there's a lot of players to watch, but I've got my eye on someone that I call Mr. Do It Quickly. His name is Emmanuel Quickly. He's a friend of mine's favorite player for the Knicks. He plays alongside a player that's haunting me, Julius Randle, because when Julius Randle played for the Lakers, I couldn't stand him, and I'm an LA fan. But now that he's left the Lakers, the man has blossomed. He's playing at an all-star level. Bow to the throne to that. I got to give the man his props. So he is constantly, he's definitely haunting me. But Mr. Do It Quickly, Emmanuel Quickly. I'm just going to go over some of his games, versus the Kings. And again, this is against Swiper the Fox. The man is fast. 8 points, 2 assists, 17 minutes. Half a point a minute. No big deal, right? Against the Jazz. And this is Mike Conley. This is Donovan Mitchell. 6 points, 23 minutes, 1 assist. So right there, rookie minutes. No big deal. Nothing to scream about. But then we get to the Cavs, okay? And this is against Garland, and this is against, what's the cat's name? Colin Sexton. 25 points in 25 minutes and 3 assists. This is from your rookie, right? It's a point a minute. It's pretty good. We get him against the Clippers. 25 points in 27 minutes with 3 assists. Again, no Pat Bev, but this is against the Clippers, who are a defensive unit. Against the Bulls, 16 points in 30 minutes, 7 assists. All right, so you counted for 30 points in 30 minutes. That's not bad for a rookie. That's not bad. I don't know what Tibbs is watching. Maybe Peyton is having some hellified practices, but from what I can tell, you know what Peyton is, and you know what Robinson is. Those two guys are always 4 points, 9 points, etc. 2 assists, 3 assists, whatever. You sent Dennis Mitchell, I think his name, Dennis Mitchell Smith or whatever, Dennis Smith. You sent Dennis Smith to the G League, so he's not in the rotation. Knox is not in the rotation. So why are you playing Smith over Quickly, who can shoot from deep, he can penetrate, he can get to the basket, he can pass the ball, he can handle the rock, he can handle the pressure. I mean, to me, it seems like you got a guy who could be something for the franchise versus you playing these guys who they've been in Peyton's been in the league for years now. We know what he is. He's not going to do anything but, run the offense, bring the ball up, etc. He's not exciting. He's not selling jerseys. He's not a cog to the engine that's winning. So to me, it's just like, Tibbs, what are you looking at? I don't know. But if you're new to the NBA or if you're a Knicks fan, you already know. But if you are new to the NBA, my player to watch right now is Emmanuel Quickly, a.k.a. Mr. Do It Quickly. You heard it here first. Check this kid out. He can ball, and he's good for the Knicks, and he is officially on my radar. So thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. And, that is our show for today. So, guys, if you like what you heard today, you want to comment, you chime in, you hit me up in the comment section, hit me up on Twitter. I would appreciate it. As always, thanks for watching. This is the place where we talk NBA all day. I'm your host, Mike, and I will see you in the next video. By the way, if you want to pay the show, hit the like button and subscribe.